I'm creating a tutorial for a final in my database management course. Um, you're going to see me perform some queries and commands on my SQL workbench. Just bear with me. I'm going to narrate and then I'm going to stop talking, let you watch the video, narrate, and so on and so forth throughout this video. I tried to do these queries pretty quickly. I know the video is a little bit long, so I tried to go as quick as possible. So the first things you're going to see me do is I'm going to log in to the MySQL server as the root, username root. I'm going to create a new user using my last name, which is Douglas, and I'm going to create a password. Then I'm also going to create and populate the Quacks database, which is what was given from my professor. And then you're going to see me create another database called the TestDB, and then create another one that's the test table. And you're going to see some columns listed as name, last name, and GPA. So this is those queries being performed. And like I said, it's going to go a little quickly. So I wanted to make sure I said everything prior to, because it's hard to keep up and narrate while things are going on. So now you are going to see I am going to be making a copy of the test table that was created, and I'm going to call it test table copy. Obviously you see that occurring right now. You see everything's being executed. We know it's correct because we have the green check. Everything is good on that. So now you're going to see that I am going to try and select the privilege for the Douglas user with the Quacks database. I'm going to log in with the new username, which is Douglas, and password. You see that being performed. Granting that permission. Seeing all of these tables be created successfully with the green check. now changing users to myself, entering that password in. Okay, so now the next things that I'm going to do is I'm going to after logging in, I'm going to try and select data from the Quacks database. You're going to see, then I'm going to try and update or delete data from any of the tables in the Quacks database. So let's see what happens there. I was able to retrieve the data, no problems there. So now I'm trying to update or delete, and you see I'm getting those error signs. That's telling me that I don't have those privileges in the Douglas user. So what I'm going to have to do is log back into the root and add the delete and update privileges to the Douglas user. You're going to see me then log in as the Douglas user and try to update or delete data from the Quacks table. And you're going to see that it's going to be successful this time. I'm going to try and update an item price and delete an item ID. So logging back in as the new user. That updated successfully. We have the green check. So now I am selecting data from, I deleted the item ID number 1. That happened successfully. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to log back in as the new user, try and select data. I set that from the test table, and then we're going to see if I was able to do that or if I'm going to get an error message. Let's see that being performed. So you notice that I am getting an error message due to the privilege not being given to the user by the name of Douglas. I'm going to have to go back in and grant the update privilege to the Douglas user, and I want to update just the last name column. So you see I'm granting privileges to the update last name column only. Executed. So now I'm testing those privileges. I'm trying to update the first name, and you see I can't do that. So we know it worked for just the updating of the last name. So now I am going to be showing, so I tested all the privileges granted, and then I revoked the privilege granted to the Douglas user, and then I was able to update the last name again, and that went successfully. So now the last couple of steps, I'm going to list the databases, list all the tables and quacks, list all the column names in the customer table, rename the customer table to customer_table. Then I'm going to drop the test copy and then drop the test DB. And then lastly, I'm going to log in as root and drop the user Douglas. So the whole point of this tutorial was to just make sure that you're paying attention when you're creating a new user, making sure that they have those privileges necessary for them to perform the needed queries for the data sets. And it just shows you how you can go back and forth granting or revoking those privileges to each user. So although this was a pretty compact tutorial, everything is there. You see all of the errors, you see the steps that were used. Again, I practiced these queries prior to, took me a little bit to get it done, but it's there. And then the narration, of course, not the best, but hopefully you can easily get through this video. Again, renaming right now. See, everything's happening successfully, no more errors.